I'm a scrap addict. There, I said it. I'm also Kylie Coo. Welcome to my studio. When I sat down last week to make my page for my concertina journal and to film it, I was faced with this big mound of stuff on my table. It was nothing but a big heap of things that had been dumped there. A lot of it scrap paper. Why had it been dumped there? Because I'd moved it from another surface onto there. This has been going on for weeks now. I moved things from one place to another, then I moved them back. And as much as I wanted to try and do 2 pages, 2 videos for my concertina journal, I just knew I had to do something about all of this. There's even an old petrol cap from a car sitting on my desk. There was magazines that I needed to harvest. There was jars for my paint water. There's a stone. There's tissue. There's scraps upon scraps upon scraps of paper. There was some supplies in there. There's plastic pallets there, pens, pencils. There was everything piled on here, and I just knew that I could not start filming, I could not start working again until I started to bring at least some of these scraps under control. There's a piece of deli paper that I use as a palette, just all of this sitting there in one big heap. Now, this will not be the most exciting of videos, like watching paint dry, somebody clearing scraps, but it might just give you an idea. If you are like me and have tons of stuff sitting about, maybe it'll just give you an idea. I'm just showing you there a box with other stuff in it, but I really just wanted to clear everything off my desk and start afresh and start to try and organise things. There's even papers sticking to papers. So I didn't have any fancy solutions. It is just about organising, but I will take you through. That is simply a craft mat that's covered with a non-stick paper. I'd cut through that when I was chopping through something. That's just an undersheet. So I think I fold it until I get it to the kind of best looking or cleanest looking cover. And then I'm going to start. So as I say, not anything terribly exciting, but it might give you some ideas. And I have to say, I felt so much better for doing this. So there I've pulled off a couple of little scraps that were sticking to something else. These are all strips that I've cut from gel print pages, and I am reluctant to let them go, so I'm pulling out where there's slightly bigger ones. I'm keeping the little strips separate just now. I'm going to make some more rip strips with those, and I'll put links to my rip strip videos below. And really I just start by sorting them into very small pieces, medium-sized pieces, larger pieces. Now I could categorise them even further. I put the strips off to the side. I couldn't be bothered doing much more with them just now, but I will be showing how I'm going to use them at a future point. But suddenly that felt like a start. It looks quite organised there just now. It does get worse though. So I just pulled another heap from a pile, and I just keep doing this. Now I'll speed this up further because it is simply just putting these into the piles. Those are some of the gel printed sheets that I'd already cut the edges off, and I need to decide if I want to use those for collage, or in fact I might do a bit more gel printing on them because some of them are quite plain just now. An old magazine there, putting it off to the side as well. So for the most part I don't mind working in amongst some creative clutter. Things build up when you're working on projects, things build up, but sometimes it just gets to the stage where my brain can't cope with it. I just think, no, until this is clear, I just can't do anything more here. And that was the stage that I'd reached today. I just felt I couldn't do anything. And I've got all sorts of things in here. I've got gel printed sheets, I've got tiny bits of scraps from things that I've already pulled things out of, I've got drop sheets, I've got dictionary pages that I might put into journals, I've got other pages that I cut words from for found words. It's just on and on. old envelopes that have come through the post that, you know, I was going to use for something or other. And you'll see there, even small pieces with just a tiny bit of paint on, I can't bear to part with them. So this is the thing, scraps begat scraps or whatever. So, you know, another tub there, starting to empty it. Found my scrappy journal. I did wonder where that had gone to, and tucked in a little image that I wanted to use. There's washi tape in there. Here's a box. Now, this is a box that had another journal in it. It had some work in progress. It had playing cards there that I got from Kerry the Crafter, little drawing things there I'd done at some point. So those are all playing cards. And suddenly I thought, well, I could use this little box for all my current little journals that I'm working in. So there's my scrappy journal and my accordion concertina journal in there just now. So I thought, well, that's a start. I now know that they're going to be together. Then I've got all these little bits of fabric scraps, some in that little Chinese takeaway tub, others elsewhere. Here's another couple of journals. These are some of my torn pieces journals. So I'm thinking, right, get them in the same box, and that's them together, because my journals have a habit of going astray. More things that I got from Kerry the Crafter that I want to use to finish off the closures on one of those journals. And that case was what playing cards had come in. So putting the playing cards into there. That was some fabric that he'd sent as well. Lace, couldn't remember the name of it there. So I'm going to put that in the box beside those journals as well, simply because I want those alongside my torn pieces journal, because I'm going to use them on that at some point in future. There was a bag. I think, did that actually make it to the recycling? I think it did. So, plain pieces of paper, more scraps, tiny pieces from the gel plate again, and, you know, it's just all bundled in there. And I'd love at times just lifting this kind of bin out. Oh, there's my Neo Colour 2s. I had been looking for them. There they were, in amongst all those scraps. You know, so sometimes it's nice just pulling out that kind of tub of scraps and just delving into it. But when I just use it to then catch other things, you know, when it starts to become a catch-all, it really is annoying, especially then when I can waste time looking for something over and over. Here's a glue stick. Don't even know if there's anything in it. Yep, it's not an empty one, so I'm now putting that into one of my art trolleys. Little bit of sponge, more fabric, and so it goes on. Bubble wrap, so that should be in my little tools box. My mini collage papers that I'd made. These are sheets that normally go in between my my sketchbook pages. So, you know, when I started this, some of these tubs felt like they were bottomless. I thought, I'm never going to get to the bottom of them. That's a piece of kitchen towel, which I try not to use, but when I do use it, then I keep it so that it doesn't go to waste. More little bits of tools, more washi tapes. That's possibly another glue, unless I dropped the same one back in. Pieces of collage. There's another box of scraps, so a box with scraps goes into a tub with scraps. Crazy, really crazy. You know, I've obviously put stuff into that little box at other points when I've been trying to tidy up, thinking, oh, I'm getting organised, I'm putting these into a little tub. Isn't that great? Well, no, not really. So, putting those into the bigger tub that I'd started here. But as you'll see in a little while, those tubs very quickly filled up. Things here I should have just been putting straight into the recycling, but I just can't do it. I'm a scrap addict. There's a paint palette I'd been using for something. I'd sketched out the colours I wanted to use. Cheesecloth, I was looking for that a while ago, couldn't find it. So I'm starting another little tub here of small scraps. And basically what I'm trying to do now is just to sift things out, and you'll see in a minute that I actually, at least I think this is the one I do it with, once I get lots of little bits out, I then just scoop the rest into another tub, or that could be another tub to come because I did several. So, you know, the storage that I start to use, it's not pretty, but it's practical, and it is at this stage just about trying to organise some things. Right, so there's what I've got so far. Found this little thing. I have absolutely no idea what it is. Did I throw it away? Of course not, but I've got an empty tub there, which is good. So, little collage pieces. I wondered where to put them, but I decided I would keep them separate just now. Some pieces of music, but they've got words on them, so I think I'm going to keep them with the book pages that I take words out of, and I'm also going to separate out the maps. So here we are, another tub, and here's more of those playing cards. Stamps, you know, I like to keep stamps when they come off things. That was a card I got from Kerry the Crafter, so that needs to go somewhere to be kept because it's, you know, special. A brown paper bag, another little journal. Okay, that can go in my little journal box now. So suddenly it felt good to have a place to put it. So once that box was emptied, I went out because I needed more things. So I went out to my cave and I brought in that plastic sweetie tub. So I then put the little scraps into that because I needed more room. I've got this little tin that I'll put, I think, words and stamps into. And then I've got this bigger tin, which had been a biscuit tin. I found a penny in it. That was lucky. And I'm going to start to put some of the, I think, the medium-sized scraps into that one. Because as you can see, my table was starting to get a little bit messy. So there's a mix of medium and small in there, but I decided I wasn't going to waste time going back through those to sift out the smaller ones for the sweetie tub. But it's a start. And yes, that little tub, stamps, words. Put a little couple of tags in there, but I've since separated out some other tags. And I'm just going to store the tubs in the basket that I cleared. It just keeps them together. There we go, emptying all those little bits from that box right into the small scraps tub. Now I might at some point decorate these tubs. I might decorate these shoe boxes. I was going to do that a while ago. There's the slightly larger pieces going into there. And I'm just going to clip these collage pieces together. And I clip the maps and the dictionary pages together. I'll often use those within, well, just different things for collage. It's always the way, you clip things together, then you find another bit and have to go back and clip it in again. But the good thing is, I was doing that. I wasn't just simply thinking, oh, I'll leave it just now. So here's the pages where I've cut words out of. I came across an envelope, I think, with some others in there, so I just put them all in. Oh no, there it is. It was a blank one. Since then I've been putting more into there. I will put them somewhere different, but for the moment an old envelope is fine to hold them, and just put them in that box as well. So that box has got a few different things, but I'm okay with that because they're organised within the box. So another envelope, these little bits that, yeah, I'm going to do something with them. I've got a lot of pages here that were roll-offs, that kind of thing. And I think that probably what I'm going to do with them is do some more gel printing on them. Some of them are plain, and yeah, so I think I'm just going to do a bit more gel printing. But again, just getting them all together keeps them nice and tidy, and another little clip onto them. And just, you know, the very act of clipping them together makes a difference. So it was actually quite a few days ago that I actually filmed this, and I've taken a few days to get round to editing it. But before I actually started editing this video today, I've actually been back and emptied, I think, another one big tub of scraps and one box of scraps that was in my cave. So, I've managed to build up a bit of momentum just by getting this started. Getting all this into this little basket thing was great. Just holding them together just now was really helpful. It gave me great kind of encouragement to keep going. Now, what I've organised today spreads beyond this basket. It doesn't surprise me, but it's tidy, which is the main thing. And I feel now, I've got a long way to go, but just starting this process is really good. I have ended up rejigging a couple of things today, and I will start probably some more boxes or tubs with things just to perhaps hone the categories down even more. But that's fine, so long as it's organised, so long as I know what's where, then that will make a big difference. And just now, I was about to say goodbye, but then I had another idea, so I'm not quite away yet. And I also found some more scraps, but I decided to use just a piece of masking tape to name the boxes. So just about done. I'm going to leave a link to a funny little video. I thought it was funny. Take a look at that if you want to see what lies beneath the craft mat. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.